Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome back to Under the Ocean. Again, we are playing Alpha version 7, update number 5, picking up where we left off last time, having reorganized everything and finding a place to get a base established here. So that's going to be the focus. So today we're going to be making construction benches. Now, I've already made the base construction bench, and as you can see, one of the descriptions there says that it provides a gravity-free environment for construction. Now, the only problem is that it did not provide gravity-free environment. So as you can see, when you go to use these now, if you remember before, when you went to construct, you simply hit the space bar and everything was gravity-free, your entire screen. You could move planks around and position them in the background, different layers, and basically build a house. Well, things have changed now, and we've got the construction bench here. So when I right-click it, it provides this kind of gridded area, and you can see I can still move around, but only while I'm within this area are items supposed to be gravity-free. Unfortunately, if I take this out here, you can see that, in fact, this is not a gravity-free environment at all. Now, I can stick this in the ground and come out of the construction mode, and you can see I can't get through this. I will start to climb over it, but it is obstructing me. So you do need the advanced construction bench in order to use the layers that we had before. So basically, the regular construction bench just simply allows you to build on your current layer. Now, like I said, it's supposed to be gravity-free. It's not. So we're going to go ahead and put that away, and we're going to hope that it's the advanced workbench that works for us. Again, it says it in the description, so this is probably a bug, but maybe it won't be the case with the advanced construction bench. Now, in order to get that advanced construction bench going, we need iron ingots. And in order to make iron ingots, for which we do have the materials, we actually need a forge. So you'll see I've gone ahead and grabbed 4 boulders. I already turned them into 4 stone blocks, so we can now hit forge here and get this crafting. You'll hear the hammering sound in the background. It'll take a little bit. But once we get going, we'll be able to combine coal and iron ore to make the iron ingots. So, excuse me, just like the other tools here, the other benches, you can see we can click the forge and bring this up. So we're going to go ahead and move that over. And let's see, we need the tool belt. That's where our materials are. So what we need are iron ingots. We're going to need 2 of them. So 2 iron ore and 2 coal. Essentially 1 of each to make an iron ingot, and we need 2 of them. So that should make 2. We'll go ahead and click one of these guys. Looks like it takes no time. That happened instantly. And we'll do it again. And you saw that there was an iron, the tin box. That's another storage unit. So we'll go ahead and take our iron ingot out. Now, in order to make a construction bench, an advanced one as well, we need 2 stone blocks and 2 wood blocks. The difference with the advanced construction bench is we need the ingots, but we now have those. So we are going to have to collect some more material. We do have 3 of these. Let's see. Let's go ahead and open this guy. Let's make sure this is the advanced one first. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and stick the stone in we need, which is 2. We'll go ahead and make these. So there's our 2 stone blocks. Now we need 2 wood blocks. So we'll just take these guys in here. So there's the 2 wood blocks. And as we have these in here, you can now see that we could make a construction bench, which we already have. But if we bring these iron ingots in, we should, cross our fingers, should be able to make, there it is, the advanced construction bench. So we'll go ahead and click that. I would imagine this is going to take a little while to make. It is advanced after all. It takes a couple more swings of the hammer and placement of nails. Let's go ahead and close some of this other stuff out. So what we're hoping for, once again, is that the advanced construction bench actually allows us to have the gravity-free environment. This one says it does, but it doesn't. It lies to us. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and set this down here, and we will right-click it. I think the area you get to work in is larger as well. It is indeed. Essentially, if I stand in the middle, it occupies my full screen. So that's cool. And as you can see, we've got the layer options here. So we're just going to need to move this. This over here is fine. Bring up the inventory. Open up the crate. And pull out a plank and hope. Oh, look at that. this is not a gravity-free environment. Not at all. So this is going to be a little bit difficult building a house, but what we might be able to do is at least build the foundation. I think that we can stick items together like this, and it will, there you go, they do stick. So it could be that we could build frames and then attach to the frames, and then the gravity isn't as big of a concern to us at that point. But essentially, as you may be familiar with from the earlier build, you can kind of move things around and change layers. Now before, if I recall correctly, the scroll wheel actually selected the layer. It moved you forward and back. In this case, they've changed it. The scroll wheel actually rotates the item. You can still use Q and E to rotate. It's a little bit slower, excuse me, but it's much more fine controls. So I like using those. Now, once we have this somewhere, we can, while holding this with the left mouse button, I can hit F1, F2, F3, and that kind of brings it from the back layer to the front at F5. So if I move it to the back, set it down here and let go, and then we kind of come out of this mode, you can see that this first one still prevents me from moving. It's on my current layer. But the other one that we placed is actually back behind me. So we can get started with this. We don't need the gravity-free environment just yet. Okay, well, I've cleared the area pretty well and constructed a lot of planks and everything as well. I even made some board blocks, or wood blocks rather. And if I use the pan here, if I hold down my scroll wheel and pan around, you can see some of the materials in the outer areas. I am somewhat near the middle of the zone here, so I figured this was a good place to start. So let's dive in here. We're going to right click this, and we of course have our not so gravity free area to work in, but that's okay. Now what I want to do is I want to have the floor elevated off the ground a bit. I want to be walking across wood planks, and you know, maybe if a crab comes rolling through here, they'll kind of walk underneath my place essentially. That's not why I'm building it this way. it's just an added benefit. So what we want to do is kind of establish a kind of support for these, but I don't want them in the forefront. Right now it's mid-front, as you can see top right. I actually want to move these to the middle back layer, and we'll go ahead and get these set. Now what I'll do is I'll use the solid grid line that's kind of cutting through the middle of this, and I'll put the middle of the plank there, and we'll use that as like a guide. Essentially start here and keep going. We'll rotate this guy around, move him back and up a layer just to make sure that that's set, and we'll put that here. So we've got some other stuff in the way. Just move these around a bit, but yeah, so there's those two. Now I do have some really long planks. I think this might be one of them. Let's take a peek. That one looks pretty long. Yeah, I think this is about the same length. So let's see here. I think what we'll do is we'll set these support beams as far apart as these are wide, which means I'm going to have to move this bench. We'll just go ahead and set this over here. I don't think it has to sit flat or anything. And that's still in the area, yep. So what we'll do is we'll grab this guy. Now this guy we actually want to walk on, so we're going to have to flatten him out and move him to the middle layer. So of course that's my layer, so it bumps me. But yeah, I think we'll do something, and we'll probably go to about the midpoint, something like this, and then we'll move this guy over, except he needs to go back a layer. So if we put that, you know, right about here, so we should be good. And let's actually come out of this. So that should be in the background. It is. I'm standing in front of the support beam, but I can't go through the floor, and we do stand up on that. So the next bit is to do maybe 4 or 5 segments like this, and it's gonna be a bunch of work because we got a whole lot of stuff in the way, but I will do that, and we'll come back when I have a floor established here. Okay, as you can see, I've got the floor down, and on this side over here I put down a plank that goes to the ground just as a ramp. So I am essentially blocking off the under part of the hut, but that's cool. I want to be able to just kind of run right up into the base. So now what we want to do is kind of establish where the ceiling is going to be in here, and this will probably be a multi-floor place, I'd imagine. I want to go up, and one of the newly added items recently was the ladder. So we do want to be making a ladder and be able to get up to the next floor. So what I think I'm going to do is, if we go ahead and come into our mode here, construction mode, and I take one of these guys, we'll just go ahead and float him back to one of the mid-back layer. So the same as the support beams underneath, essentially. And if we put this here and come out of this, you can see it's in the background, and I think that provides plenty of headroom. Plus I have this other idea as far as workbenches go and placing them above my head. Sounds odd, but when I was playing around a little bit in the build mode before, I kind of set something up accidentally, and I kind of liked how it turned out. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and go to this side and do the same thing. Rotate this around and make sure this is somewhat straight. And it's on the mid-back layer, so that's cool. We'll just go ahead and do that. And I'm trying to think if I want to do 5 just like the 5 support beams down below. I'm kind of thinking I won't. I'd rather save those. So we'll move the workbench over, or the construction bench. Take one of these guys, rotate him. I think we'll just do 3. I'm going to line this up next to the grid here so I can see that I'm somewhat straight. And place that there. So those are going to be the main support beams here. Then I'll use the other planks to create the floor, which we could do now, rather the ceiling. It'll be the floor of the second story, but let's go ahead and see how this goes. We're going to have to move this guy back in closer. And this guy we want on the middle layer, because we do want to be able to walk on him at some point. So it looks like it's going to take 2 of these to clear the gap, and I want them to meet somewhat in the middle. So let's see how this works. Oh, it looks like it's not quite going to reach. So we're going to have to close the gap with another plank. And if that's the case, I think we'll overlap a little bit. Something like that. And maybe use this guy. And just kind of overlap these together. It's not going to be very clean, but it should work. So I shouldn't be able to jump through those. Doesn't look like it. Of course, that's probably the height of my capacity to jump there, but anyway, what we'll do is that'll be kind of a second floor, and we'll get ladders up there. And one of the new items as well that they added is is it a construction plank, I think is what it's called. It's kind of a flat piece of wood that you can set as the background. Let's actually check that out. I forgot what that takes to make, but let's pull the advanced workbench out and take one of these planks and put it in there. Yeah, construction board. We'll go ahead and make one of those so I can show you what those look like. Now if I come into my construction mode, actually I guess I have to bring this out. So there you go. We'll go ahead and go into construction mode. You can see we can rotate this around, and we'll can basically use it as a wall. I'm not sure I want to use these just yet, but for now we'll go ahead and set it to the mid background. We don't want it blocking us or anything. And slightly overlap this. So when we come out of here, you can see we can now walk in front of this, which is kind of cool. So anyway, those are pretty easy to make. We'll probably end up doing those. So for now, we'll just leave that there and concentrate on getting the rest of the floorboards over here. It'd be nice if I could do the same setup, 2 longer ones and a narrower one for the ceiling on the right side. But I don't know that I have a whole lot of longer pieces left, if any. It looks like I have one. This guy, so we'll just kind of chuck that over there. Sure, nice clean work environment. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to make this we'll have to settle with this not really matching up, but that's okay. So once again, we'll take this guy, rotate it, use the grid again, make sure this is flat-ish, and we want this on the middle layer, and we'll do that there for now. We have another one here. It's on the middle layer, so that's cool. We want it to hang out a bit over the right side edge. And at that point it looks like we could get away with using a small one to fill this gap. Not very clean or symmetrical, but that's okay. So there we go. We now have a ceiling in here, and like I said, once we get a ladder we'll be able to climb up onto that second floor. We can also put windows in. Again, the construction plank set as background, so there's a lot we can do here, but I think for now what I'll do is I'll start moving some things around so I can put the ramp down on this right side and at least make things symmetrical as far as that is concerned. Ta-da! So we've got the first floor done. You can see I went ahead and got the construction boards up. so that I could fill the background in. It was partially filled in, didn't look right, and I thought, you know, we'll just fill it. So this is essentially the first floor. We've got the ceiling here, and yeah, one of the next things I wanted to do was something I mentioned earlier for the benches. Now, in the build mode, I had played around and found I could do this thing. I thought it was kind of cool, so we're going to try that. We're going to go into here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Basically, bring this in. Now, the background wood back behind this plank, you know, is set in the background. This guy we're going to actually go ahead and set on my layer, so the middle. And I want to leave enough room between this one and the ceiling to place a workbench. So I think what we're going to do is maybe put this somewhat in the middle, like here, and come out of this and make sure we can walk underneath it. Yep, no trouble. We jump and we hit it. That's cool. So now if I open up my inventory, I can grab the workbenches. So let's grab the standard workbench here and set that here. Aha! I think you're seeing it now. And we put the advanced workbench next to it, like here. There you go. Now these guys will pop their icons up when you're in the vicinity, so you can see they disappear by walking away. Now the cool thing is these aren't on the ground at my feet, you know, popping up and getting in my way. They're just right here, easily accessible, the icons floating up and out of my way. So I thought, you know what, I think I'm going to do that when I build my next hut. We're going to set this up so that the benches can actually just chill above me. Now obviously you want to be able to use the workbenches when you're out in the world, but I'll make new ones for that. There's plenty of wood and everything for that, so we'll make kind of a mobile set that I carry around with me. I just thought it'd be nice to be able to kind of come in here and just have these sitting here. So especially now, I don't necessarily need to carry these around. For a while I may be out just gathering things and bringing them back here anyway. So anyway, it was just mostly an experiment, but it looks like it works out pretty well. So the next thing to do is kind of look into what it takes to make the ladder and probably gather materials to do that. So if I jump in here, let's see if we can find the ladder. Skip around in here. Okay, so that's the end. Now I did see a machete. What did that take? Okay, it takes some ore and coal. That's cool. Noted, because I think I want to make one of those. And there's some new guns you can make as well. So here's a ladder, and it looks like you have to make a wooden pole. I'm not exactly sure what it takes to make a wooden pole. Let's see, if I go back through here, it may even say, come to think of it, if we've got to make it, it should be in the recipe book, right? That wasn't a... Oh wait, there was a pole. So it just takes a long stick, interesting, and a workbench. I don't recall seeing that when I had a stick in there before. So this is just the standard workbench here. Let's open up the inventory. Maybe I don't have a stick on me. Okay, well I'm going to have to go find a stick. I probably won't have to go very far, but that's something we'll look into a little bit later. For now, I think what we're going to do is maybe clean up a little bit more. I've got things floating around outside here, and including this thatching, and maybe I'll store a bunch of this stuff, and like I said, just do some housekeeping. Okay, we're looking pretty good here. Things are pretty well cleaned up. I've got everything outside of the house now sitting on top. Here you can see up on the roof I've got all my materials ready to go for next time. You see this burning here. I did build a fireplace. It just takes 4 stone blocks, so essentially 4 stone boulders. And those are easy. I've got those all over the place, just littering this area. So very easy to make. And yeah, we got that set up over there to the left. So I think we're pretty good for now. We'll go ahead and leave it at that. Next time around, we will get a ladder made so we can get up on the second floor and build that out. Maybe use the thatching for a roof, make some kind of angled or kind of an arch looking roof to this thing, as I've kind of done in the past. So anyway, I hope you guys check in next time when we get to that. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.